Hi, welcome to another Revenue Hub video series. Following the success of our AI series in the summer, please do check it out if you haven't seen them yet, we decided it would be great to get our expert partners' views once more. In the spirit of this time of year, we've asked them to predict what 2026 might have in store for the hotel industry. Now, through these videos, we are not inundating you with please subscribe and please like requests. You guys know what to do. But we would be interested to hear your thoughts on the predictions. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are your predictions? Anyway, hope you enjoy it, and thanks again to our expert partners for taking part. Let's see what their predictions are. Hey, welcome to our 2026 Crystal Ball predictions video series. Thank you so much for joining us. I really do appreciate it. I know you're incredibly busy, so to carve out some time to do this is very welcome. First of all, how are things with you? Must be busy times, I would imagine.
Thank you, Trevor. And yes, it's busy time, especially because it's the period of the trade shows. We just came back from London WTM and looking forward to go to Cannes next one.
Very nice. It's okay for some.
Yeah. But actually, it's a wonderful place. I shouldn't say it because we also have Italian trade shows, but ILTM Cannes is my favorite of all.
Yeah, I've got to find a good excuse to go down there at some time.
Should.
Maybe I'll come up with one for next year. Anyway, look, conscious of your time, let's get rolling. Let's hear then. So we've got 3 predictions from you. Let's hear what you think prediction number 1 is going to be for next year.
Okay, so first of all, I like your title, Crystal Ball. So let's deep dive into first prediction. And is that, let's say, profitability will overtake revenue. And we believe that 2026 will be the year for what we call dual revenue management. And actually, this will become a new standard.
Profitability will overtake revenue. I get that. Dual revenue management becoming a new standard. Just talk me through that prediction, what that means, and where you're coming at with that.
Yes, let's say that according to us, in 2026, we'll see one of the most important shifts of the hotel industry. That profitability will finally replace revenue as the primary decision-making metric. In fact, for years, we've looked, and when I say we've, I'm especially talking about the revenue management community, as gross revenue, RevPAR, pickup trends, and volume as indicators of success. But today, I think it's the right moment that these metrics only show half of the story. Because in the other half, there is what happens after the booking. Something like acquisition costs, commissions, payment fees, sponsored visibilities, cancellations. All of these elements have grown significantly during the last 5 years. And they compress the margins even when revenues appear healthy. So actually, the key question for us in 2026 becomes not how much did we sell, but how much of what we sold do we keep? And this mindset change, exactly. We think that this changes everything.
And so because you're looking at, as you say, the both, I guess what you were saying, the other half of the equation, is that what you mean by dual revenue management? Can you explain that then?
Yes. Actually, because it's a keyword that we created, so we also believe it doesn't exist. So it's right to question. I need to put it together, and it's connected actually to the 2 missions of Blastness that we've been pursuing for the last 15 years. So that really big part of our know-how, which is revenue management on one side, so maximizing revenues, but also boosting direct bookings. And if you think about direct bookings, they are a very big part of profitability. And this is exactly where dual revenue management emerged as the model that hotels will increasingly adopt. In fact, the core idea of dual revenue management is simple, and I'll try to make it even more simple, that the direct channel and the intermediate channels are not the same ecosystem. Looks easy from here, but think about it. Actually, they operate, even if they look very similar on a certain point of view, and maybe channel management make them look really the same place, they actually operate with different audiences, different rules, different costs, and different levels of control. But for years, most commercial strategies have treated them as if they were the same thing or interchangeable. Same pricing logic, same KPIs, same threshold, something around the, say, the electronic world. And we believe that this approach no longer works in an environment where margins matter as least as much as volume.
And that's where you feel that the dual revenue management philosophy changes that, shapes that differently, yeah?
Exactly. Because we believe that dual revenue management reframes the structure completely. First, it gives the direct channel its own dignity, starting with its own strategy, instead of letting it inherit from the logic designed mainly for the OTAs. So in this case, the direct channel gets its own targets and its own performance boundaries and its own KPIs, like the net RevPAR, the contribution margin, and the profit per booking. And these metrics will better reflect the true economic value of a direct customer. So this is the central part of dual revenue management, let's say, as a philosophy. Then, since we're not philosophers, but we are revenue managers, we need to put it in place. Did I say well? Do you agree? So let's say a second part, which is important for us, is what we call the rate spread, which is really the operational engine of this approach. What is the rate spread? It's a controlled dynamic band that determines how the direct channel should position itself against the hotel's general price level. And it's very important here to underline a fact. When we're talking about rate spread, it's not a discount strategy. And it's not about selling the website cheaper by default. It's an adaptive system designed to do two things. First, maximizing margin when the market allows it through the direct bookings. Second, maximizing volumes when demand requires it. For example, in a high demand, I will give you a very easy example. In a high demand situation, the one that in revenue management often we call spill. So when the hotel is performing well, conversions are strong, and OTAs are delivering predictable business, the spread between the direct price and direct price can be widened. Why? Because that's the moment you need to do margin, where usually you do ADR, and when the hotel should capture more profitable demand directly. Every booking that moves in this context from an OTA to a direct channel represents an immediate improvement in contribution. At the meantime, in low demand scenarios, which exist, the logic shifts. Yeah, unfortunately, this exists, but if it didn't exist, there wouldn't be revenue management, so I'm happy about it. And what happens in low demand scenarios? The spread narrows. When the spread narrows, you give every channel the opportunity to perform at its fullest potential because you go into a more volume-oriented moment. So with this approach, we are not forcing direct booking at any cost. We are optimizing the mix intelligently, I would say, in a revenue management way. So this is why dual revenue management is not a marketing tactic. and it's not a pricing trick. It's an operational system that runs every day with ring corridors defined by the revenue manager, keeping profitability as the compass. This leads me to say that the prediction in 2026 will be the year where the hotels will stop measuring success in terms of volume and start manage it through the lens of contribution. And dual revenue management will move from being an early adopter strategy to becoming the default operational model for hotels that want a sustainable growth, better than channel mix, and a direct channel that isn't just bigger but more profitable.
That's a big prediction. I am going to set a date in the end of 2027 for us to revisit that and see how we're going to. It makes great logical sense. I mean, I can see the value of it. It's just knowing how hoteliers can be about adopting new concepts. I'd be really interested. As I say, makes so much more sense around looking at the profitability as well, which we all learned when we came out of the pandemic. That revenue might be one thing, but profitability is what leads us to that continued sustainability of our operation. So I can see why that would be a natural thing to focus on. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so what have you got for having set a high bar with number one prediction? What have you got for us for prediction number two?
Okay, my crystal ball, I will say. And then I like to see it at the end of the year if you were right, but it's prediction. Yeah. I would say that the direct booking experience will change, going closer to what we call truly human. What does it mean? I will make it in 3 words: personalized, fluid, and more contextual.
Okay, so there's been a lot of talk for a while now of the booking experience, the direct booking experience, specifically moving towards greater personalization. What's your take? What's your angle on this? Why do you feel this is going to be a key shift in 2026?
Oh, let's say I feel there is a shift, but I will say it's quite obvious that it should be a shift. If you think about how it is today, the direct booking, which is static, generic, and linear, making it fluid, personalized, and contextual is just how it should be. The point is that the technology wasn't making it possible. So for a long time, all the booking engines have been treated or are a kind of digital catalog. They show rooms, rates, they have some filters, but then they leave to the final user or the final potential customer alone when he has to figure out what makes sense for him. And in 2026, this approach is not enough. Actually, it wasn't enough even before, but was the maximum we could do. Yeah. But now, I think that it will be the year where the direct channel will only be competitive with a direct channel if it can offer an experience that feels guided, intuitive, and tailored.
And I guess a lot of what's been going on recently with AI and people looking at how that can start to influence that personalization is that what you see having had a big impact? Where are you seeing this come from?
Yes, there's a lot of buzz around this, and obviously there are a lot of opportunities. And like every time that there was a technology disruption, there would be something in the market is going to change. And what we are doing in Blastness is trying to take advantage of these technological opportunities to enhance it in the final product. And we believe that this revolution is already underway, and is the reason why we are evolving 2 fundamental pillars of a new way of shaping the direct booking journey, which are our AI CRM and what we call, I will do it with an Italian inflection, AIBE, AIBE, which stands for Artificial Intelligence Booking Engine. So it, for example, it does not simply display rooms and rates, which it can do, obviously, but it uses artificial intelligence to understand what the user is searching for what they avoid, what they compare, and the level of information that they need to make a decision. And if you think about this, it was inspired by the major e-commerce, such as Amazon. Whenever I'm looking for something which is in a very big database, the aim of Amazon is give me as first choices something very close to what I'm looking for. And this was what we tried to create with the AIBA project.
Yeah, I get you. That makes sense. Yeah, and I can understand where you're coming from when you use Amazon as an example of how they have made the suggestions and made it feel a lot more intuitive based on what I was doing at the time, rather than just here's a list of things and you've got to scroll through, which may not be relevant.
And it also allows us to do a part, which is the part that here I didn't talk a lot because if not, it would last very long. In management, where we are talking about having two different strategies on direct and indirect, why you need it, because then if you think about OTAs, they're like an outlet. They don't want a lot of room types because they have a lot of hotels too. So they need to make it simple, the decision making. While we know from our experience and our numbers that when you come to the website, giving a lot of options helps to sell the higher ADR products. So it's a completely different need. The only problem is that when you have a lot of products to sell, and when I say products are a combination of room types rate plans, the real point is then highlighting only the few ones to the client. And this is so this part of AIBE, it's kind of completing part of the dual revenue management job.
Understood. Very interesting. Okay, let's hear your final prediction for 2026. Prediction number 3.
Prediction number 3 then somehow closes the point number 1 or number 2. The third point is more about future, but it's going there and something connected to what I call conversational selling. And saying that conversational selling will become the reference model for turn inspiration into direct bookings.
So, okay, because the moment people talk about the moment the word conversational comes up, I'm thinking of two people talking to each other, but we're living in a world where we seem to be doing less and less talking with actual individuals. So where are you coming here from this conversational selling model that you're suggesting?
Yes, let's say that on one side we start from dual revenue management, so creating a strategy for the direct channel. On the other side, we have the artificial intelligence booking engine that helps to, let's say, make this strategy work out on the direct booking. But it's also a transition toward selling that, from our point of view, will be also conversational. Both that is conversational with a human, or conversational, let's say, with a chatbot, or started with a chatbot and ended by the human. So also in a hybrid way. And actually, it's there where I want to get, where I'm saying that implementing in 2026 an authentic and effective conversational selling model requires hotel to adapt an integrated technological ecosystem. And this is a milestone. In fact, a single standalone tool, whether it's a chatbot or an intelligent booking engine, will not be enough. Because a true conversation, or let's say pretending that is true, no, to the final client, or giving a perception of that is true, requires continuity, coherence, and a shared data foundation across all the tools of the funnel. And the strategy that we created around this is based on three fundamental stages of what we call the modern direct digital journey. Number one, inspiring. During this phase, hotels must attract users with relevant content and strong touch points. Second is engaging. In this phase, technology must establish a real dialogue, trying to understand the intentions and the need of the potential customer. Third, convert, where the booking engine must be highly optimized and supported by tools that strengthen the decision making. And the Blastness suite is also designed to precisely manage this flow in a fully integrated and what we call end-to-end manner.
Mm-hmm. And so how do you pull those things? How do you pull those things together then? How do you achieve those? What am I trying to say? How do you take those three fundamental stages of the digital journey and then align that with a fully integrated end-to-end solution?
Okay, I would say that we can rely, apart from what we saw today, we're other three key tools. First of all, an AI chatbot capable of natural language communication, intention recognition, and contextual responses that will guide the user toward bookings. Second, a set of what we call direct revenue tools that are integrated within the website and the AI booking engine. They can do several things, as highlighting the direct channel advantages, providing controlled price comparisons, and using automation based on the so-called fear of missing out based triggers, the FOMO triggers, to remove friction and accelerate the conversion. And then something that I mentioned before without maybe explaining very well, which is our AI CRM that is designed to intercept and manage requests. And so create direct quotation aligned with the customer profile, generate highly relevant offers, and drastically reduce the workload of the booking engine office throughout an autopilot logic. And the most crucial element in this flow will be, as I said before, the deep integration.
That makes a lot of sense. They are very interesting predictions. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk us through them. And I look forward, as I say, to revisiting it with you in 2027. Let's see how close we have got to that vision.
Yes, we have a date for the end of the year.
Without a doubt, we will talk before, that is sure. But it would be great to come back and revisit those predictions and look at how close we are to them and how they may have evolved. Who knows what 2026 will bring to us? But thank you so much. It's really appreciated. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found the predictions discussion interesting. If you'd like to see any of our videos from our Summer AI series, here is a link to that playlist. And if you've missed any of the other prediction videos, here is a link to that playlist. And finally, can I genuinely just thank you all for watching or listening to our content? It really is appreciated, and we look forward to bringing you more in 2026. Thanks so much. Take care.